What's up, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. A lot of news today. Absolutely brutal turn of events in the Cincinnati brawl, where a city councilwoman was saying that she was very thankful that this white woman got, well, what was coming to her by her own, of course, a black councilwoman said that she's getting dragged now, thankfully. Thanks to all of you and their wonderful investigative skills. But also we got some actual aftermath photos of what happened to the woman who dared try to help up a man. A white man. We don't know what happened before this, obviously. And if you've been following the channel, you've seen the story. There was booze involved. It was 3 a.m. Really nothing good happens that late at night. And, well, if you're out in public anyway, and maybe some words were exchanged, okay? Maybe someone put their hands on someone else, okay? But what happened after that was what can only be described as a feral mob of about 15 black folks absolutely pummeling an old lady for the crime of trying to help someone up. And this is the aftermath. I just want to share that because this is what people were cheering. This is what people thought was good and funny and that they deserved it. Here is the Cincinnati official who cheered for it. Nope. Well, I can't. That's no real video there. The grim images show Holly, who is not otherwise identified. By the way, she was a single mom just out for somebody's birthday. Although, single mom out at 3 a.m., you're out too late, lady, too. You should know better. Was shown with a dark black eye, a busted lip, and dark bruises across her entire face and neck. 5 people have now since been charged after footage of the attack quickly went viral. The video appears to show a white man and woman being targeted by a group of largely black assailants. They're all black. That's all I saw. The pair were brutally punched and stomped as they cowered on the ground. The woman who was eventually knocked out cold. When I saw the video, I thought she was dead, Moreno told Fox News, Fox and Friends on Thursday. Adding to the images of her injuries, they were so horrible. Look what these animals did to her. Holly gave me permission to release the photos so that others will not suffer what she did, the outraged senator added. Well, unfortunately, if you're downtown around large groups of people who are on drugs or alcohol and they are young African Americans, this will happen again. This is a problem that can only be handled by the African-American community, the black community, or lawmakers. And we can't count on lawmakers to do anything. So it's the black community that has to fix this. And they don't want to. They think it's funny. They asked for a beatdown, Parks replied to the video on Facebook, and I'm grateful for the whole story. Moreno called for Councilwoman and other Democrats to be booted from office as he threatened to cut federal funding for the city if they refuse to act. Now, this is what I'm talking about. There has to be real consequences. And that's, you know, if you're going to have lawlessness where, you know, law-abiding citizens can't walk down the street without getting pummeled into a fine mist, you either fix it or we're going to fix it for you. That's what we saw with these woke universities, right? Moreno called, "This is what political leaders in Cincinnati are allowing," he raged. "These idiotic political leaders that the citizens allow to have office need to go. I'm going to call on all federal agencies to review the funding that we provide Cincinnati, and I'm giving the leaders of Cincinnati 1 month to come up with a plan to protect civil rights for their citizens. If they don't do it, I'm going to ask agencies to suspend all federal funding because we're not going to put up with this." The police chief, of course, blamed social media. The city council person blamed the victim. The Republican continued, "This is a total travesty. I'm not going to put up with it. Ohio deserves better, and Cincinnati certainly does too." So now we're talking about having their federal funding taken away because of this. And I 100% support that. What we know about the 5 suspects right now, anyone who caused harm will also face consequences. So if there's been 5 arrested, right, and there's definitely more than that, just to remind people, this was 7 or 8 on one. 7 or 8 20 and 30-year-olds against a 60-year-old single mom. And then another man who, again, apparently there's some video of him maybe slapping a guy. We don't know what happened before that, but there was some engagement from him. But again, I've been that drunk before. I have never thought, hey, let me go do horrible things to people. I think about maybe DoorDashing $75 in Taco Bell, okay? This is not a problem that alcohol creates. It's a problem that alcohol illuminates. It's just like I always say, too, a drunk person speaks a sober mind. A lot of people will say, oh, I said something I didn't mean. You meant it. You may not mean it now, but you meant it when you said it. This is some of just the numbers in Cincinnati, by the way, Democrat-run city.
Before we talk about this video, now let's get to it.
So
it's in Cincinnati. We're about to have a live report on that viral brawl that we've been talking about. Always helpful, I think, to look at trends before you zoom in necessarily on one incident. So here we go. All right, just start with violent crimes overall. Just
1,100 already.
Violent crimes.
That's just in Cincinnati.
Year to date in the city. That is actually down. It's 21 fewer than this time.
That's not really
last
down.
year, but percentage-wise, it's only like 2%, 1.8%, which in relative terms, compared to other cities, is not much. I mean, 17%, if you look at other major cities, is the drop we've seen in violent crimes. I'm talking about places like Atlanta, Chicago, New York.
20% drop? That
compared to what we saw last year. Again, contact.
So Cincinnati is not.
Now, homicides, 38 reported in Cincinnati so far this year. It's actually up one more than this time last.
I mean, it's crazy. We're talking about 50 people got killed. No big deal. I mean, here you have, we have the suspects identified. Again, this occurred at 3:06 a.m. I have more information on them. Where is this? Here it is. They begged for that beatdown. Council member Victoria Parks posts, oh, was that a German Shepherd? Oh, it's a German Sheppy. Hold on. What are we talking about here?
Oftentimes you think about a single family home or you think about a big apartment building. What we call middle housing is anything in
Not
between.
very good on the leash, lady. I think you need to work on some training there.
A quad.
All right. Sorry. I digress. They begged for that beatdown. She posted, by the way, at 4:50 a.m. in the morning. What was she doing up? I guess maybe she was up that early. I suppose that's possible. Of course, it ended up getting the attention of libs of TikTok. Obviously, this woman should be fired. It's not... First of all, she didn't know anything about... the video Parks reacted to doesn't show how the fight began, but appears to show moments before it escalated. It starts with a man in a white polo shirt and another man in a black shirt assuming a fighting stance as onlookers shout at them. The black-shirted man kicks at the man in the white polo shirt. The man in the white polo shirt throws a punch after someone else tries to break up the fight. The man in the white shirt appears to say something to the man. See, they're already saying, oh, he must have said a slur. He must have said the word that white, obese women say allow black men to do whatever the heck they want. Let's see. The man in the white shirt then slaps the face of the man in the red shirt, brawl ensued. Now, maybe this guy was blackout drunk. That, if you're a normal human being and not an animal, is reason for letting it slide. Multiple times I've had people try me in the bar if they're really drunk, or try to start something with other people at the bar, and I always try to de-escalate. There's no value in it. First of all, if somebody's that drunk and you beat them up, big whoop. Second of all, somebody's going to end up getting hurt and you're going to go to jail for it. I get it in a world, if you have literally nothing to live for, you don't care about that. But if you've got family or responsibilities, the ish is just not worth it. And, if somebody's that out of control, basically I just say, guys, it's not worth it. Let it be. Or, just walk away from it. That's how normal people react. Now, if you can't get away from it, okay, fine. You have to defend yourself. I understand that. Usually not that hard against somebody who's that drunk and stumbling around. You see, again, more pushback. This is from, it's unconscionable that an elected official will be celebrating this attack in the very city she was voted to serve. Cincinnati police president said, "This highlights poor political environment that police officers, residents, and visitors are currently enduring. Thankfully, there's an election in November, and I urge voters to vote for change." They won't. State Representative Phil Plummer also demanded Parks step down. Cincinnati Councilwoman Victoria Parks must resign immediately. I assume she will resign, after today. But I think what you need to do is, well, first of all, get rid of women on the police force, especially in positions of leadership. They're not good leaders. They're just not. It's not who they are. Second of all, the federal government needs to step in and protect its citizens. If these cities are going to continue to elect these soft on crime losers, then we absolutely should be ripping their federal funding and making it very difficult for them to get all their programs funded, because then they're going to have to go to the people and they're going to ask for money, or they're going to have to raise taxes locally, or they're going to have to answer for why they lost federal funding. And that will actually bring about real change. Not this like social media outrage, which sometimes is effective, but if you go in there, you take these losers' money away and you make them go to the people and say, hey, that summer program that we had for your kids, that's gone. The food bank, well, we lost funding for that because we have a bunch of obese liberal women in positions of leadership and they don't want to do their job. And then people will change their votes. It's time to daddy up on these cities. We have to protect Americans, even if their local government refuses to. I hope you were informed by this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.